Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff, the Counseling Geek. Welcome back to episode 4. And I'm so glad that you've joined me today. I'm going to be bringing to you guys in the next 15 minutes a topic that's pretty interesting to me and something that I find is very useful both in my own side of things, doing the Counseling Geek stuff, but also as my role as a high school counselor. So I'll actually show you a little bit about my website and how I built it. But today I'm going to talk to you guys specifically about how to create an easy, effective, and good-looking website using Weebly. All right, so Weebly is a great tool that will let you create for free a professional, high-quality website. And so what we're looking at right now is the homepage for Weebly itself. One of the nice things about this tool that you won't find on many other sites. There are other tools that you can use. Wix is one of them, WIX, if you want to explore other options. But Weebly is by far probably one of the most well-known and well-used website creation tools for kind of the layperson. There's not a whole lot of technical ability that you need to have or background to be able to design a pretty stellar website. Like I said, it's completely free. If we come over here and we click on the pricing, what you'll see is the main one here is free. Okay, so you don't have to necessarily worry about this. At my school, for our school counseling website, I use the free version. There shouldn't be very much reason to do any of these other tools. These far right too are for if you're selling items online. The personal one, the main difference is going to be about a $6 a month charge to have a custom domain name, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But I'm going to hop over here to this other page where I've logged in and created an account. So I took a step ahead just so that I don't have to walk you through that. So I logged into my account. I just used Google. My Google account is an easy way to do that. You can use whatever login and account creation method you like that they offer you. But what I'm going to do in the next 15 minutes or less is going to show you how to not only start and create your own website, but also how to kind of make it look good, and a few tips along the way. All right, so in order to create, this is an old site that I had not even published, but I just created. But in order to create a site, there's going to be an option here that says plus. And there's a link that says add a site. That's the first step. All right, so after you've signed up, that is the absolute first step that you need to do. So I'm going to walk us through this. Let's click on that while it loads. First things first is you do not need an online store. So almost everybody's going to need to click this left button as long as their design stays the same that says, I just need a website. Okay, because that's all you're going to be looking at. This next one is going to ask you for themes. So themes, there's about 50 different themes. They're all professionally designed, and you can see what they kind of look like by scrolling down. They are organized, as you can see up here, by kind of subject. You can use any of these for a school counseling website. A couple that are probably going to be the most useful, though, are going to be this business, okay, a personal website, or a blog. Portfolio, events, coming soon, and other thing, and those types of websites are really designed for pictures and stuff. So you probably won't get as much use out of these unless you're populating a lot of photos for some reason. For our purposes today, I'm just going to pick this kind of standard looking one here. You can preview it. You can you can actually click on the different links. You can see the menu items. Okay, so if you want to explore what it looks like, you can do that before you start building. And one thing to know when you're doing this, you're not sticking yourself into a ironclad box. Okay, you can change your template later on. You can change it and it will actually update. So if you build it and you're like, this template kind of sucks, you can go back to the themes and actually change it and it will update your content appropriately. Okay, so I'm going to click start editing because I'm going to live with this one. What this is going to do is it's going to add some generic content, essentially the content that you see on the screen, into our website. And so what it's going to look like on the screen once it loads up, we'll have all this content that you can click and edit. It will also allow you to delete it if it's not appropriate to your school counseling website. The last step before you actually get into the editing phase, though, is creating a domain name. And like I said, you can pay $6 a month or buy your own domain somewhere else. Okay, to have that, if you wanted to say like have nthscounseling.com, I don't care about that. What they'll do is if you type in like NTHS school counseling, it's kind of a long URL, but it might work. You hit search. You might have to be a little creative with your account or your URL. Okay, if you have a pretty common acronym or something like that, you might have to kind of think a little bit outside the box when you come up with your URL because it might already be taken. All right, so it'll tell you can add this here. Okay, you can choose one of these. These ones are going to be cost. Okay, this is, you want to kind of skip down here. The subdomain actually lives at Weebly.com. So whatever website you use, your URL will actually be thatsite.weebly.com. I'm going to choose that site. Okay, and it's going to give you that. You might just want to copy it down before you move on and hit done. All right, it's going to have you reload once you do that. And then we're actually building a website. What was that? So on this homepage, a couple different things that you'll see. All right. This is what's called a WYSIWYG style editor, or what you see is what you get. Okay, which means this is where the no technology, no background has anything to do with it. Okay, if I want to change this, I can say school counseling. All I did was click on it and type. If I would like to drag this item down below this text, all I have to do is drag and drop. All right, so this dragging feature is very useful, and when you drag, you can see this blue line on the screen. It's going to tell you where it's going to go. So if I wanted to put it up there, you can also move it to the side. So if I wanted to make, say, for example, 2 columns, I can move that there. This can also be like removed or shrunk. Okay, so it's really super simple. All right, buttons are editable. You can change the button text. This link here, where it says link, is where it will actually send you. So if I wanted to send it to a certain page on my website, I would select that page from this menu. Or if I wanted to send it to an email or a URL, okay, so if I wanted to send it off-site, say like to YouTube, I could click website URL, type in the URL here, and then whoever clicks on that link, they will be taken to whatever URL I enter. All right. All of these items over here on the left, these are the items that you're going to use to build your website. You have your basic content items up here, so your title, so that's going to be a larger size text. All right. You also have a small text here that you can use for like your body paragraphs. When you're typing these things, you can use your standard formatting tools. You can change the colors here, so if you wanted to highlight something in red, you can easily do that. You can add images easily. So images are something that are going to make your website pop. I highly encourage you to use high quality images. When you're looking at images, there's a couple key things to keep in mind. Number one is copyright. Okay, if you go to Google Images and you download an image, there's a high likelihood that that image is actually copywritten. And while the likelihood of you getting in trouble for that is extremely small, we want to make sure that you're using things appropriately. So there are some great free stock photo websites. And if you want to go back to last week's episode, I covered Canva. That's also a great tool for using to help build your website and developing great images that are eye-catching and effective. Okay, but I also mentioned a few free stock photos. One of them is called Pexels, Pexels.com. This is a free high-quality stock image website which allows you to search for absolutely free, copyright-free images that you can download and import into anything that you would like. All right, and so if I wanted to look up like education, I can download a graduation image. All right, so it's going to say free download. It's going to download a little ad. Okay, so pictures. And all I got to do is when I hop back over here, if I wanted to upload an image, you can click this. Navigate to where you downloaded that image. Somewhere in all my pictures in here. Here it is. It's going to upload that. Please note that sometimes when you download images, that will limit your size. All right, and if you're uploading a lot of images, and I mean a lot, for some reason, or a lot of videos or things like that, you might hit a limit in terms of your storage capacity. But I've not hit that yet, and I have a lot of stuff on my website, so you should be fine. Okay, and just like anything else, you can drag and drop, you can shrink the size, you can move it wherever you like. All right, there's a couple other cool tools that you can use. So this whole website is designed by pages. So this menu at the top is going to be all of your settings and your editable items. If you hit pages, it's going to list all the different pages, and it looks just like what you'll see up here on your menu. So essentially, this is your home menu. If I wanted to add a page, say a standard page, external page, and non-clickable menu. Okay, this is going to be like a drop-down. So if I wanted to create something that will drop down underneath one of these menus with a bunch of stuff, I'll show you that on my website in just a second. External page will simply link straight to like YouTube or another place. Okay, so if I wanted to say link to Pexels, all I have to do is click that. I'll type in Pexels. I'll come back over here. I'll copy this URL, and it will go in here. With anything, I almost always suggest having it open in a new tab, so just change that. And unselect if it's defaulted like this, hide from search engines. It's totally fine. Okay, hit done, and that's going to add a new page. When you do that, it's also going to show up here. That's not where it probably should go, though. Okay, if I wanted to do that, I might want to drag this. And this is also important. This is going to let you do what's called nesting your menu. All right, so you don't want a million things in your menu. You can create nested menus, meaning under services, maybe I'll have appointments, maybe I'll have individual school counseling, or whatever it might be. Okay, but this menu now lives underneath here. So if I come back up here, Pexels now lives underneath services. All right, so that's how that works. So you can create nested pages like that. Up here at the theme, this is where you can choose if you want a light or a dark theme. So it's going to change a little bit of the look. You can also change that theme like I mentioned before. You can change the look of your website. And you can also change the fonts. That might be important to you, I'm not sure. Okay, but there's also some color options that you can choose. So play around with that. The last thing that I'll mention on this settings up here is you can invite other people to actually share. So if you have a co-counselor, they can also edit this. You can use a blog feature. So if you wanted to type up a blog, there's a page for that. All right, so this lets you do a little bit of the back end stuff. The last couple things that I'll show you before kind of showing you my website in the last few minutes of our time together today is there's two really cool features that I like to use within Weebly itself. That's a little more advanced, but very powerful. One of them is this thing called Embed Code. Embed Code is something that sounds pretty techy, and it can be, but basically it lets you set this. HTML is how people write code for their websites. If I wanted to embed, I pulled up a really long time ago itinerary that my wife and I took when we went to Europe. All right, so if I wanted to share this, and actually I'm going to pull up a YouTube video. Actually, that's going to be better. If I wanted to do this, I can hit share on this YouTube video. And on a lot of these tools that allow you to do this, Google Forms is another one that allows you to copy and embed code. If you click on this embed link, it's going to give you this. And I'll show you a different way to use YouTube that's easier than this, but it just shows you an example. This embed code, you're going to edit it and simply paste. And as soon as you do that, boom, there goes your website or your Google form or whatever it might be. You can also use this YouTube link. If you're adding YouTube videos, that's probably the easiest way to do it, because all you need to do is copy the link. Okay, you don't need any special codes or anything like that. You copy the link, you'll click on it, YouTube video URL, boom, there it is. All right, and now they can watch it without even leaving your website. So they don't have to go to YouTube, it just streams directly right there. It's kind of like a window within a window. So that's a really, really awesome tool. You can have uploaded PDFs using Scribed. You can download files. Okay, there's tons of things that you can do. And let me just show you really quickly what a little bit of that might look like after you've spent a little bit of time, and then we'll be finished for today. This is my school counseling website, and what you're looking at here is my homepage, and this is something that I keep updated. I kind of go through here once or twice a month, probably at least, and kind of update where I'm at. I've added like a digital counseling session based on where we're at with our distance learning at this time. Okay, but here is an idea of these nested menus. Okay, so you can pull down all these different areas, and you can go pretty deep. Okay, so I have there's one nested menu, two nested menus. All right. But I have the different domains. I have digital counseling. So if I click on that, it's going to take you to an area where people can click on this and to get taken to book a digital appointment on Calendly, which hint, we'll be talking about on Friday this week. Okay. A link to YouTube, a link to share documents. It has details about how to get in contact with either myself or my colleague. It has links to videos, okay, on our YouTube pages. All these things are watchable online. Okay, so here's a great way to actually build your website. The last thing that I'll show you is over here on Weebly, there's a thing called apps. And the apps, when you add them, are actually they live down here. All right. There's a few that you might do. Some of those are going to be paid. Okay, so just read through them, make sure you understand. But a cool tool that I've added recently is down here in this bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so this is called Pure Chat. And it's a free tool for this website. It's pretty simple to add. You just do it with that HTML code. And what that does is it allows me and my colleague to chat with anybody. They don't have to have some special software. All you have to do is click this link, and then it's going to have you type in a letter. It's going to type in my name. Oh, this is my email. And then it's going to connect with me, and I just got a little notification on my phone. Okay, and then I can actually chat right back. Hi. See? And so it's really simple for great questions that parents or students might have and maybe don't need to send an email, or they don't know your email, or they just don't really know how to use like Hangouts or things like that. So it's really simple to use. I highly encourage you to check that out. It's a little more advanced, but it's an awesome way to add some interactivity to your website. All right, so with that, I do want to mention that we do have another session coming up on Friday this week. All right, so we are going to be talking about managing your appointments digitally. So I'll be showing you two primary tools that you can use or I have used to manage my digital calendar and my digital appointment system. It has been a crazy way to add efficiency to my work, and it's definitely the way that you should be running your appointments if you manage like a Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar. So we'll be talking about Calendly as well as Google Calendar, and so I hope that you join me Friday. So that's Friday, April 24th at 3 p.m. as we start talking about some of these key important things. It's important all year. All right, so running a calendar, this is not just something that I do while we're out on digital learning, though it has become more important. This is something that you use all year, and I'll talk about how it's helped, how easy it is to get set up, and dispel a few myths and fears you might have about actually running digital appointments. And you can do that at any grade level. It does have a little bit more of an attractiveness to upper grade levels, but I have colleagues that run it also in elementary school. All right, so hope you join me again Friday, April 24th. And if you've missed any of the episodes in the past, this is episode 4. There's been 3 prior episodes. Hop on youtube.com/